Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Master RKO, and today we are bringing you a Mastering Black Ops Cold War episode. Yes, I know it's been forever, and I've been feeling the creativity, I've been feeling the energy, and I have just wanted to be recording for a while. I wanted to get videos out to you guys. I wanted to start streaming again, and I'm going to try to balance it just so that way I'm not burning myself out and getting things going, but I really want to get these out. I've loved Black Ops Cold War so far. I've loved playing League play. Even though the League play system's a little bit off, just playing the competitive matches, playing the game itself, the rhythm and everything of the game is still great. So I figured what a better way to help everybody else in what I've learned and what I've been seeing over the past few months and few seasons of this game than to start this back up. So this is something I've been wanting to do for a little bit, and I figured what a better time to do it than now. So what we're going to be doing is right now we've got raid hardpoint brought up. We're going to go ahead and go through the hard points, all the maps together, but I figured what a better there's no better map to start with than the good old fan favorite raid. So let's go ahead and hop into this game here. We've got a few things going on with the game modes, just so that way it's a little bit easier to explain some stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go through all the rotations. And while we're at each hard point, we're going to go ahead and just kind of move some things around and just get used to the map, get things going where they need to be going. I'm going to go ahead and pop in my trigger stops. I just got a Elite controller recently, and I might even do a review for you guys on this so far. But so now we've got it where it's 5 minutes per point, 20 minutes total, so we can kind of go through the entire rotations together. So first and foremost, the first rotation is going to be actually here in what we call ring or circle. A lot of people have different names for it. A lot of places that you can capture this from. Off the break, you're going to actually see a lot of people run through these two houses here. Most people call red or art. They kind of run up here through the street, and you kind of can pre-aim the arches there, or you can pre-aim this window, or even that little elbow. So if you're playing a AR role, the main places you're going to want to be for this particular point is either up here in art. You can kind of look over towards the window here. You can pre-aim the elbow and the stairs as they come down. You can't really see the sneaky area back there, but you can see people coming arches as well. You can even hop out the window here and kind of use this as a weird off angle, or you can play it back here by the van. Use this as kind of a little sneaky peek and jiggle peek around here and see them coming around. But you always want to watch your flank, because mid is going to be the main place where a lot of people are going to be flanking from. That's going to be the big place where you're going to be getting map control. As we come around here, playing around the ring itself, use these as much as you can for head cover, especially if you want to be like Celium and just do some cool snaking things. Don't do that. Please don't do that. But anyways, you can use these to kind of fight the people in their respective windows. You kind of want to play around the ring a little bit, but we'll actually keep going with the AR stuff real quick. So if you're an AR on the other side coming up, the two main places you can play, one is out here in this secret area. You can see people coming up the street here. You can see people coming arches. You can kind of get a glance at that person coming out of the art building. And if you're playing this truck, you can also see people coming up the ramp here too and kind of playing this truck out on the outside. The other place you're going to want to play, actually, the one advantage you have on this side is actually playing on this side here, because a lot of people will sit right in this little nook right here, and that's where you can pick off a lot of people that are in the hill as they roll around. If you want to be super sneaky, you can even kind of play behind this rock and get people coming up behind the vans, trying to play the vehicles. AR players, you can play this, but a lot of times I see people get more picked. So up in this art building is going to be your main place where you want to be, or playing kind of behind this van. Or if you want to use these as kind of a heady, you can kind of keep an eye, but you're more likely to get flanked that way. Playing on the inside of the hill, there's a few places that I really like to play. Number one, obviously, is going to be on top of the hill because you can mantle on this and you can you're out in the open, but if you have an AR, you can peek all the way over towards water steps. You can see people coming up the road here. You can see them in art. You can watch them run up the stairs in art from over here. You can get a decent shot in the window. In laundry, you can see them come in secret. It's still out in the open, though. So you kind of got to watch it. The main place that people will play is right here with this rock. You'll see a lot of people kind of peek this so they can see people coming from that back tree area. One place that I really like to play, though, is actually right up here. I won't be in the point, but you can kind of crouch here. You can get people who are sitting in that elbow area. You can kind of gunfight this person up here, and if you hit your shots, you can kind of keep them at bay. And you can look over towards water steps and see people flanking or see people in arches and call them out. But also, if they spawn swap, you can actually just do a quick little slide and you're in cover and you can get people coming up towards the roadway. You can kind of get that gunfight there with top art. You can even slide over here and play, and then you're kind of blocked from arches. Obviously, this is kind of a chaotic hill, so you're going to be running around. You're going to be using these as cover. Use these as cover as much as possible. If you're in a gunfight with somebody and you're doing kind of a ring around the rosy, use these as a pre-aim. Most of the time, they're going to come just like jump out and shoot at you. But other than that, I mean, use different things as cover. You can use this middle area as a flank. If they kind of have a setup, use this car as cover and roll around through here. But as we go through this little rotation, we're actually going to go ahead and do a rotation. There's two ways to rotate back towards kitchen. Number one, obviously, is through here. This is pretty simple. You kind of want to keep your head on a swivel here, as you will get people spawning up from water. But you also have people kind of peeking you out here. So you can either roll around this way and kind of use this as a little bendy-roo, or you can come down here and use this little head glitch here and get people as they sweep through here, which is always a decent idea. You can even use these rocks here if you want cover. And you can use this wall if you want to keep people from peeking you up here. And then use this as a heady. The other way to rotate is on the other side. So you can actually come back here, which is the preferred way to rotate. You'll usually have some confrontations here, though. So you can either come back here, or you can wrap all the way around. I like to do this because you can use this as a heady as they start to wrap around towards kitchen. As you roll here, you have two options. You can either roll all the way back to the back. I prefer that method just because you can kind of guarantee spawns. Or you can come here, pre-aim that guy that's usually sitting in a window, or you'll usually have someone on this heady right here. And you can get a really cheeky angle right here and peek people in that kitchen. So you can chuck a stun from here. You can chuck a trophy towards that area. And sometimes you'll even catch someone slipping and just sitting there. As you wrap back around, make sure you check your basketball, because sometimes you'll have some little dude just sitting there waiting on you. And then as you wrap around, you kind of get into the hill. So for basketball hill, AR rules, pretty simple. You got two areas. You're either going to be watching this front here, making sure no one's going into your money, or you're going to be back here at the tree, making sure no one's wrapping through the back. This is your main priority if you're an AR player. Wrap back through here and sort of pre-aim this, make sure no one's pushing through. If you seem like you're completely dead and 3 seconds go by and you haven't heard anything, wrap back through here. You might catch someone money, and you might get a couple easy kills there. That's just making sure that they're not going to get your spawn. People in the hill, your objective players, your sub players. Here's a few angles for you. Number one is going to be this angle right here. You are going to want to play this angle like it is your job. Mainly because you got cover using this little sink here. And as you're kind of holding this here a little bit, you can kind of do a jiggle peek. You can also hold this side here and get a longer distance. This is really good for control too. You can use this door if someone's got your cache. You can use this door as a little jiggle peek to kind of see if anybody's coming up on that, but you're more than likely going to die to that guy on that shelf. Wrapping back here, obviously you can kind of jiggle peek this and see if anyone's here, but if they get to that little cabinet area, you're pretty much screwed anyways. Same thing for this side. This hill is a lot of ring around the rosy too, jumping around back and forth. So make sure you're using this, because if someone slides through, you can always jump out, take them out, and you've got this whole area that you can shoot from. If you jump this way, you're kind of out in the open. A few ways to break this hill. Number one is to get some people out front here and also in the back pushing at the same time. Obviously, using this little slide here works, because then you can jiggle peek this guy that's watching this angle. Pop, strafe back, hit him with it. We covered this on the VOD video. So you can use that kind of jiggle peek strafe to just take out that guy there. If you take him out, you're going to have rotations. Most of the time, you're going to have a guy here or there, obviously. So just what I showed you, you can also pre-aim with this. Once you get in the hill, you're pretty much going to want to get to that back corner. So you're going to want to come through here and get to here. People are going to be rolling through. This also stops any rotation from cache from seeing you. So you kind of pre-aim this, and as soon as someone comes out, you can jump out, pick them off, and be on your way. As the time ticks down and we're getting about that time, we're going to be rotating all the way over to Garage Hill. So this is where things get a little interesting. So Garage Hill, you're going to want to push from down here in water. If you're lucky, you get this. Sometimes you may spawn over towards the gym side, but we will work on that as we get there. I like to push this kind of outer area because you can kind of watch this angle and watch people peeking. Or if you want to be super sneaky, you can actually jump up on this ledge here, break this window, which I will actually break it and slide through. You can actually shoot through this too, but this way, if they peek you, they're not going to see you immediately if someone's up here. And then you can get into this window, and now you can watch from up top. It's a little bit of an easier way to get to where you need to go. As you roll through, you're going to want to make sure you're watching your crosses. Someone may sit there at that yellow car. Someone may sit back there at that van, and you will have people at that yellow car close here as well. Right in this corner is a good spot too, because you can kind of jiggle peek, especially that guy up top. If you know he's there, you can jiggle peek him like that. Especially here too, same thing. You can kind of jiggle peek this as soon as you see the guy, take him out. Pushing from the front is pretty much a no-go, in my opinion, unless you know you have someone back in water or back in gym. There's really no need to push from the front. What you're going to want to do is push through the back. Yes, there's a window here. Yes, you can break it. Yes, you can use that as a distraction to push the front if you're really willing to. You can also kind of use this as a little bit of a weird thing, so you can actually jump up here and then jump over the glass. It's a little bit of a trick, but you can do it. You can also use this as a little bit of a weird boost thing. I think you can actually jump this, slide out, and get that person who's usually head glitching that vent. Or you can use it just as like a jump shot, so you can jump around here like that and kind of get like a weird off angle. This vent is actually really useful. You can jump up here and you can see exactly where people are. So if someone's over there by the van, you can peek them. If someone's over here watching the middle by the yellow car, you can peek them. Kind of get a mental view of where you want to push. Because then you can kind of come up here and you're like, okay, I got them, and you're just pre-aimed. Which just goes back to the other part of the VOD of seeing where you're aiming. So right now, you come up here, you're like, oh snap, there's a guy right there. Well, don't move your crosshair, and you're going to be right on him. So this is what this would look like real quick. So you come up here, jump up. Okay, there's a guy there. Bam, pre-fired. Dead. Got him. Another cool tip about this is you can use this window here for stuns and grenades. Usually won't kill the person, but it's usually a good checker. You can just bounce it off here and see if there's anybody there. You can nade through the skylight too and streak through the skylight, but it's just a little good check. You can pop things through there. I think you can also pop trophies through there. Yeah. So if you're pushing through and you think someone might be there chucking stuns at you, pop a trophy through there. You're already covered. Peek them out. If you're an AR player, this hill's a little bit interesting. There's only a few places you can really play. Number one, if you want to be that weirdo that's playing up here, you can get people on the cross, but you're not necessarily going to kill them. But it will give you a chance to kind of use this car as cover as they come around, but you're still kind of open. The main place you'll see AR players play is back here like this. You can peek under the van and see people coming. You can do the same thing on this side too. You can kind of see shadows as they come through. You can also play, if you want to be real interesting, you can sit up here and watch them come through, which is cool. And this spot also gives you like a weird off angle, which some people usually won't look at initially. So there's just a few places for AR players also playing back here, using this as cover and watching your mid. There's also a good idea. You can also do the same thing with green. Watch over here. Most of the time you're not going to get that kill though. So playing on this side is usually your best bet. As a sub player, you've got two spots. You're either going to be over in this corner, kind of just keeping cover as people come through. You take them out, you hit them, you drop them, good to go. Or you're kind of playing back in this little off-angle van area. You can kind of peek that. You can see people coming around. You can see people coming here. You can also, if you're playing outside the hill, play in gym. A lot of people are going to rush through gym. They're trying to get to the point. This is a money hill, so you're going to get a lot of time. So just kind of jiggle peeking this, seeing if people are coming, or just letting them walk through, shooting them in the back, letting your AR players get that time as well. This could be a point where all your AR players actually get that main time. That pretty much does it for the rotation from this side. So we're going to go ahead. I'm trying to think if there's any other tips here besides if you're trying to break this hill, there's two spots to break this from. You can either overcrowd this gym side like we said. Most of the time you're going to spawn on this side if the team has a good setup. So you can send someone down here and you can kind of like rush through this to kind of use this as a cover and then just take out that guy, push through. You can also send a guy through mid. Use this car as cover. You know there's going to be someone back there, so you can kind of, if you want to like assert yourself and assert your dominance, you can push through mid and get that. Or if you're coming from water, we already showed that how you're entering through. It's basically the same thing to try and break it. So let's go ahead and make the long rotation over to basketball. Now basketball is interesting, but there's two things about going from kitchen to garage and garage to basketball that you really want to keep an eye on, and that is the mid cuts. So the reason why these can kind of be really difficult is because if you don't have a player that's watching that mid cut, it can be really, really detrimental. What I mean by that is as you're coming up from one side to the other, especially if you're coming from this one, players are going to be spawning out, so they're going to be trying to get map control. So if you just take a little cheeky little cut up here and take a look, you'll probably see 2 or 3 players wrapping through circle or even trying to push through mid, and you can get yourself a good 2 or 3 kills that way. And then just push through kitchen, get the rest of them, or push through cash. So basketball hill is a huge money hill. You want to make sure that you're holding all your angles on this. So there's going to be a lot of spots for this. We're going to try to get through them real quick in this one rotation. So pushing this hill, you're either going to be coming from the front. Some people can sit back in that corner, on that head glitch, inside this little hut, or back on the stairs. So trying to push in here, you're kind of jiggle peeking those, just trying to get some information. If you get control, you can use this little basketball thing as a head glitch to watch people coming from the back. You can also break it from the back by pushing through kitchen, which a lot of people will do. This is a big thing to do, so you want kitchen control. So if you have the hill, you want someone up here in this window, but you really want someone in this kitchen area holding this like off angle here, because they're going to be sprinting at you trying to get here. So holding these little off angles, even if you're holding this little off angle, you're going to be getting so many people trying to make it towards cash in the back. It's insane. You will definitely see your KD skyrocket if you start holding this on control and on basketball hill. If you're an AR player, you're going to want to be holding pretty much the same angles that you hold kitchen. You're going to want to be holding this little spot here where you can see this, but you're also going to want to be double checking that tree. Some people will hold back here too. I used to do this. I don't really like it as much anymore because there's so much cover. When I start out, if I'm running the AR, I'll actually run this little rock here. You can peek over this. This is also great in control if you're on defense too. Using this little rock, that person that's going to be there is going to be trying to peek that anyways. So you can kind of be ready for them. Use this as a little peek here. Use this as a little peek here. Use these little divots in this rock to get some good spots. The other AR spot obviously is going to be in this window here. You can kind of peek that, or if you're really ballsy, you can sit in money, catch people rotating in water, or you can kind of sit back here on the stairs and use this as a cover as well. If you're a sub player, you're going to be playing super close. So you're going to be playing this little bench angle, watching people flood through. You're definitely going to be in here with a trophy, watching people come through, or sort of playing this little close off angle here on the stairs just to make sure no one's flooding from the back. Now, if you've got cover from those angles, you're basically just waiting to kill somebody. The main thing to try to break this hill, especially if you're having a hard time, is actually doing the long flank, going all the way through circle, wrapping back through here. If you can get 2 or 3 people to follow you, you get someone to kind of come up here, bait that guy out, get someone back here, get this kill, sort of wrap all the way through, you're going to get the kills. You're going to get the hill time, and then you can make your way through to get that hill time, get that last hard point, and then get set up for the new one. Now, the last hard point is the most craziest and the most insane, so we're actually going to go ahead and bring that up now. So, coming off of the hard point, you can come any which direction. It's very difficult to describe how to come at this middle hard point because it's just a giant battle of chaos. So what I personally like to do, and something you guys can set for yourself, is I like to come arches. The reason I like to come arches is because if someone's pushing you, you do have a lot of cover out here. But what it also does is I like to try and flip the spawns immediately on this middle hill. The reason is because a lot of times the teams will have setups. You'll have a player kind of sitting here watching this little angle or up on the stairs. You'll have players on these stairs watching water sort of set up. You'll have players using these corner rocks as kind of cover, which obviously if you're a sub player, use these rocks as cover. But they'll just have a full setup, an entire full setup, and it's very difficult to break that. So what I immediately like to do is flip spawns. Most of the time, especially in league play, teams are not going to be ready for this. So I immediately come over here. I'll run down in this area. If I feel like I'm going to be seen, I'll even run back here. And I'll immediately get on this side. Once I'm here, your teammates are going to immediately start spawning out. You're going to have some teammates there, but anybody that gets shot is going to spawn over here. Usually pretty close, too. As soon as I come over here, I immediately wrap towards arches. What this does is it creates a 3-pronged pinch that a lot of players in league play are not going to be ready for, and they're not going to be prepared for. So what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to wrap through here. Your teammates are going to be shooting at these guys here. They're going to be pinching through here. The only opening you may have is water steps. So you can come through and watch water steps. But as they're doing that, you can kind of get your call-outs, find out where people are, and then immediately start pushing these little angles here. Especially if you're running a sub, this is a great play to do because you can immediately come in, catch these guys off guard who are shooting at your teammates, use these little angles and pop these guys out, and use these barriers to your advantage to kill everybody in the hill, so that way you're getting the hill and you're getting that major hill time. During the first rotation and the second rotation of this, if there is a second rotation, that second rotation is killer. If you can hit that second rotation on spot and get over here and get those kills, you're pretty much guaranteed to win. If you fail, it usually means a loss for your team. So making sure that you're getting a weird pinch or a weird spawn can sometimes be the difference. Now, it's not always going to work, but it is definitely better than face smashing into the same guy up front. You could do the same tactic with water steps, but usually someone's going to be watching it because it's closer to basketball. So as we get into the final minutes of the round here, I just wanted to go ahead and say thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this helps you a little bit with your hardpoint setups here. I know on this hill the AR rolls are really weird too. Like you can kind of watch this back corner here, but it's all really close quarter, so you're pretty much playing off angles, watching people with an AR. But if there are some things that I didn't cover, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Let me know if there's some things that you'd like me to go in depth about. Do you want me to do a whole video on just a sub roll for this map? Just an AR roll for this map? Is there a specific hill you'd like tips and tricks on to kind of really get in depth about and do like a full 15 or 20 minute video on a certain hill? How to break it, how to attack it, how to defend it, how to make sure you're keeping it, where to set certain things. Hopefully this helped out a little bit, but if you do have another idea or something you'd like me to cover, definitely leave that in the comments. Or if you have a VOD that you'd like me to take a look at, go ahead and message me on my Twitter as well. And we can definitely see what we can do for that as well. So once again, thank you guys for watching. If you did like this, click that like button below. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment if you, once again, want to see any kind of different setups or videos or tips and tricks for specifically for this map, or if you want to request a map to for me to go ahead and hit next in this Hardpoint series. And click that subscribe button if you want to continue on your path to get better at Black Ops Cold War. Thank you guys very much for watching. As always, I'm Master RKO. Adios.